let's see how we do. We're back here with this turn into Destinies, wherein last time we were thrown out of the space center by an angry robot who was just following orders. But this case is heating the heck up. I feel like so much weird and crazy stuff is going to happen in this game that I can't even handle it right now. Hi, yes, you already said that. I've got a few notes, as a matter of fact. It has occurred to me that one thing they have continually showed us, like it's always been in frame and stuff. Athena's, when she was a kid, she had a moon pendant. Now that she's an adult, she's got moon earrings. And in almost every important shot they've shown us of Athena as a kid so far, like in the flashback where everything's all bloody, and when Juniper was talking about her wearing the headphones, it was in shot there too. And also, whenever you're in trial sequence and she's like thinking deeply, she's always playing with them. And it got me thinking, because that's that really bright yellow color, what if... I forget which... Aha! So this is a moon rock, yes? Not an asteroid sample? Because the asteroid samples are what were in the Hope probe. And the HAP 1, they brought back moon rocks, right? Is that what this is? Or is this an asteroid sample? I'm forgetting, but regardless of what it is, it has very much the same color, doesn't it? As Athena's pendant and earrings. So if we find out that somehow Metis, who was actually the Greek god, a mother of Athena, which I looked up and then promptly forgot when I went to edit it, because I'm just that brilliant. If we find out that she made those earrings and or pendant for Athena to hide the moon rocks or something for some reason, it's gonna be whack, man. It's gonna be wild. But it just occurred to me that they're always showing that in shot. They're very careful to have it prominent. Actually, now I am sort of confused because they said it's moon rocks they brought back from the HAT 1, but the more recent, the Hope probe, came back with asteroid samples, right? Well, we never got to look at what it looked like anyway, so maybe they look very similar to this anyway, but we know that in the bomb's remnants is this little shard here, which looks like whatever this was. So whether or not there was a piece of this stored in the bomb when it detonated, which I don't really know why there would be, or if that just... it detonated the research sample, and then they found it among the shrapnel, and just sort of whoever was on scene assumed it was part of a bomb because they didn't know any better and filed it incorrectly. One way or another, there's a lot of very funky stuff going on here. My assumption is that it was just caught in the blast with the evidence and was subsequently mislabeled as part of the bomb. And another two notes. Number 3, I don't really understand why Tentinate was so eager all of a sudden to tell the truth. I guess because he wanted to be absolved of the courtroom bombing to get a lesser sentence, so he's trying to be more honest that, yes, I killed Detective Arm, but no, I didn't blow up the courtroom, that was someone else. I guess that's the idea, but it's sort of, you'd have thought he had spoke up about that sooner somehow. And final point, I wonder if maybe the reason that Klonko was always kept saying, are you all right, Mr. Tyrion, was not in fact that he was mistaking Apollo for Clay, although they do look sort of similar. Rather similar, as a matter of fact. But maybe that's supposed to tell us that Klonko was on site when Tyrion went down. Or in fact, maybe Klonko was the murder weapon. As I keep theorizing, that would be a very easy way for a killer to not be, to give themselves an alibi when someone was killed, is if they used a robot. Robots who also don't leave fingerprints. Anyway, point being, there's a lot of very exciting stuff. It feels like this is going to have a big, huge turn because the whole... So I got very confused earlier on this game when they kept talking about the Dark Age of the Law. They're talking about particularly a change that occurred since Blackwell was incarcerated, I think. But I was very confused at first because I thought they were just referring to the general state of the law in the whole series so far, which has been not great. But I think once we're at the end of the game, I'll have a better view of the whole thing as a whole, and I'll understand a bit more what they're talking about with that whole plot point of the Dark Age of the Law. Because if you were to ask me, I would have said that the law has been in a pretty dark age since the first game. Anyway, Phoenix was just evicted, and here we are with him alone. Funny how the world works. What should I do now? Detective Fulbright is probably still questioning Athena. Guess I'll go back to the office. Alone. Oh, really? I thought there was someone was going to come up and interrupt him. Nope, I guess we're just headed to the office alone. Well, actually, I'm curious if we head to the detention center. Is it going to be... No, it's just still not available. Juniper? Is anyone here? Oh, I'm all alone. That's so sad. Here I go. Home. Alone. December 20th, right? Anything 8... Why does December 20th sound wrong? No, they know what they're talking about. I'm the one who misses updates. It's fine. Write anything agency. Oh, here I am. This office has never felt so empty. I guess I haven't been here at the office all by myself in a long time. I said it out loud for some reason. When I first became a lawyer, my mentor was here with me. And after that, there was always someone by my side. Now I'm getting all sentimental. I must be tired. Whoa, huh? Hello? Huh? There's something on the floor. What's a letter doing here? I don't know, but you were just talking about characters from the first trilogy, so is it going to be from one of them? That would be really weird. Oh, it's Maya! She signed it with the little Phoenix drawing. Hey, Nick, it's been a while, huh? Miss me? I know this handwriting. I recognize the little Phoenix drawing. No way, dude, what, huh? I read somewhere that you were holding a trial in the middle of an exploding courtroom. That must have been really something, although weird is par for the course with you. Wait, Maya's just entering the story? What the hell? I think she, or whatever paper she's reading, is a little off on the details. I'd love to come visit, but I'm right in the middle of a difficult part in my training, so instead think of me as you watch those Steel Samurai videos I sent. I'm sure they'll chill you right up. I'm not sure that's the best thing for now, since we know someone was murdered with a sword earlier in, in this very space center. Yours truly, Maya Fey. Good old Maya. It's as if she knew I was feeling down and needed a lift. That's so sweet! Maya was my assistant for quite a while. Believe it or not, but she's a spirit medium. This Magatama I use on Psyche locks. Maya's the one who gave it to me. But I wonder how this letter got here. Mr. Nick? Ah! Ah! Oh, that's you, Pearls. I figured it was since they said Mr. Nick, but, Pearl, don't scare me like that. I'm an attorney. When I see you wearing your attorney's badge like that, it brings back such memories. I remember you helping me conduct my investigations from time to time. I'm glad I can help again. I figured we'd be seeing her at some point, because I thought it would be sort of strange that they designed her whole, like, updated model and everything just for the DLC, although I guess they had other characters that were only in the DLC. Anywho. I'm glad I can help again. Thanks. You always provide such great assistance. I'll do my best to live up to Mystic Maya's standard. I don't know what I'd do if Pearls wasn't here right now. What about all this stuff? Can you know about dead people, Pearl? I'm sorry. I want to be of help, but I'm still in training, and nothing about that is coming to mind, I'm afraid. I'm really deeply sorry. No, it's okay. I shouldn't have known you something so trivial anyway. I feel like we've had this conversation before. Feels like with every person who we show something they don't know about, who is even slightly decent, they apologize and Phoenix gets all anxious. Oh, sorry, this is stuff we haven't seen. Sorry, hang on. Is that a pamphlet? I just love to look at pamphlets. I bet you find vacation pamphlets especially exciting, huh? Yes, because I don't get a chance to leave the village much, what with my training. So looking at pamphlets is kind of like a hobby. Well, the office is just full of them. You can have as many of them as you'd like. Oh boy, thank you. Poor kid. Wish I could take her on a real vacation. But Maya's still in training? She's like 26 now, right? Or something like that, thereabouts. How long does this training last? Oh, granted, Maya's training got interrupted quite frequently by murders. What a cute little elephant. It used to have a bomb in it, you know. Oh my, a bomb in its stomach? It must have been starving, huh? You'd have to be pretty hungry to want to eat a bomb. And there must not have been anything else around to eat. You have to be careful never to eat anything strange yourself, Mr. Nick. I promise. She looks genuinely worried for me. I mean, mostly you're pretty level-headed, Nick, but like, you've done some crazy stuff. I think after that bridge incident, most of your friends would be like telling you not to eat strange things or do anything dangerous or anything like that. Pearls, you're here! Hi! It's me, Phoenix. How have you been, Mr. Nick? This is Pearl Fey, though I call her Pearls. She's Maya's cousin, who is also a spirit medium. A very talented one at that. This is so funny because it's like the last case and they're introducing them like new characters, which I get it. If this was your first Ace Attorney game, you would probably be like, who are these? But it's just funny that he feels the need to introduce them. I've known her since she was 8 years old, but Apollo and Athena only met her a few months ago. You didn't come all this way to just bring me a letter, did you? I apologize for barging in. The door was unlocked. But I can't believe there was a big explosion here. Your office doesn't look any different. She's even further off on details than Maya. I wish I could take you out to eat or something, Pearls, but there's a lot going on. Oh, I knew that. I didn't come here for a social visit, you know, Mr. Nick. You came here, too? Did you read the postscript on the letter? Huh? There's more? Oh yeah, here it is. P.S. I bet you've been too busy to clean or take care of the office, so Pearlie said she would come help you. Isn't she sweet? You'd better thank her. Oh, so that's what you're here doing here. That's awfully nice of you, Pearls. Maya and Pearls. Thanks to these two. I'm starting to feel a little better. Thank you, girls. Now that I'm here, I'm going to whip this place into shape. You just concentrate on your work and don't mind me at all. I need to talk to Prosecutor Blackwell if I want to learn more about his case. With the trial still going on, they must be holding him down at detention center. Oh, I have more talking points now. What to do? Sure, why not? Let's exhaust this while we have the chance. Has it been a while since you've seen Mystic Maya? Yes, quite a while. She used to drop by the office sometimes to say hello, but she hasn't been by recently. I wonder what she's up to these days. To become a spirit medium worthy of heading the Fae clan, she undergoes rigorous training. But she says she's going really tired of the vegetarian diet. I'll have to have some burgers delivered to her then. Oh, I'm sure she would love that! But, to get where she is, the delivery person would have to climb a steep mountain. I hope she tips them well, then. It's totally not off the table that he's doing it. Ain't no one gonna stop Phoenix from getting his best buddy some burgers. Just you better tip him. Your hair is nice and spiky today, as always, Mr. Nick. Thanks. I generally try to look good if I'm going to be in court. Do you make it spiky so that the prosecution will feel intimidated? Huh? No, that's not exactly my intention. Your hairstyle is to make you look bigger and stronger, just like a rooster's comb, right? That's what Mystic Maya says, anyway. She couldn't compare it to something cool like a lion's mane. Could and would are a very careful distinction to make here, Nick. Phoenix. Obviously, she could have. But this is Maya we're talking about. December 20th, Detention Center Visitors Rooms. We think we're going to find Blackwell in here as well? Man, everyone important is just hanging around the Detention Center. Must be getting pretty full. Well, look who's here. I wonder what they're talking about. All this time and you haven't said a word. It's even turning your hair gray. I mean, it was already black and white. I don't have anything to say, Aura. Why don't you go home and play with your dolls? Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, even if you don't, I have plenty, you jerk. Miss Blackwell, don't you think that's enough for today? Enough for today? Today is all there is when there's no tomorrow. When there's no tomorrow? What is she talking about? Statute of limitations! Pay attention, Nick! One mention of Maya, and now I can't stop calling him Nick. We have company, Aura. Please try to calm down. Alright, fine. I see you're just not gonna listen, no matter what I say. I've had it. If that's the way you're gonna be, I have another plan up my sleeve. You once said you would kill someone yourself if you thought you knew who the murderer was. And now you keep talking of elusive plans and none of your business type ideas. And I'm getting really anxious, Aura. I hope you're happy, Simon, because I'm done. Do as you please. See if I care. Ugh. Wow. I could cut the tension with a katana. Right, Dunno. It looks like Fulbright saved your case in court this morning. What? Oh, yeah, he did. Bounce back to business quick. Prosecutor Blackwell, forgive me, but it was just the thing to do! But, as a result, Cykes Dono was arrested. Was that the just thing to do, too? Now you care. Mr. Lawyer, I'm sorry, but it was evidence. What else could I do? Don't worry about it. I plan to defend her and prove her innocence. I wouldn't take things so lightly if I were you, right, Dono? This is blade-proof glass, right? With him, I'm never sure. Look, you keep sassing me, but I am really an attorney. How can you call yourself a lawyer if you can't even protect your own subordinate? I swear I'll get her acquitted. You'll see. Your mind must be as dense as the hair on your head. Do you really think it will be so easy? I'm more than aware of how hard it's going to be, thank you very much. I haven't failed to protect her yet, Blackwell. So, what do you think? Looks like it wasn't important enough to warrant even a contemptuous. Oh yeah, right. Well, he's a felon. At first I was like, why is he in the detention center? But I guess they're questioning him because of his relevance to this case, since we sort of brought up all the stuff about it being important to the case 7 years ago. Very well. None of the other evidence had anything to do with it. Let's chat, Blackwell. 7 years ago. Tell me everything that happened. Prosecutor Blackwell, we're looking into the case from 7 years ago. You're looking for somebody you call the Phantom of 7 years past, aren't you? You villain. Where did you hear about that? This glass is absolutely positively blade-proof, right? No, it wasn't me. I didn't say a single word. Oops. Ouch. At least it wasn't my fault. Could you tell me who this Phantom is? And also, you didn't really kill Dr. Cykes, did you? Guard! The guest is leaving! Prosecutor Blackwell, please listen to me. The culprit in the current case might be the same as the one in the case 7 years ago. If you would cooperate, we could probably solve both cases. I suppose I could talk. The one who killed my mentor was, without question, me. I stole Cykes Dona's mother away from her. I destroyed her life. Prosecutor Blackwell. I don't believe you. Guard, where are you? Stop dragging your feet, I tell you. Well, I mean, That went about as well as could be expected. Here he goes. No! We've upset Prosecutor Blackwell! Now what are we gonna do, Mr. Lawyer? There isn't much we can do. And since when was it we? Detective Fulbright, do you mind if I ask you just a little more about that old case? Well, I guess it won't make any difference now. What would you like to know? Well, see, I'm a lawyer. Something for the lost and found? I'll be sure to take care of it. No, this is an important piece of evidence. The trial 7 years ago. Do you know anything about the trial that got him convicted? A little. The police call the incident the UR1 incident. Oh my god. More letters and numbers to remember. There's DL6, UR1, L1005, which is actually Woods, L1005R, or whatever it was. Prosecutor Blackwell was charged with murdering his psychology mentor. UR1. UR1 what? Kinda like if your red Mr. Lawyer were to kill you. I don't want to think about that one. There were 2 decisive pieces of evidence, so a verdict was reached very quickly. 2 pieces of evidence, huh? What were they? Oh, I bet it's going to be super important, and one of these is going to connect to the present case as well. Let's see, the first was some security camera footage. He was the only one who used the corridor to the murder scene at the time of the crime. The only one, huh? Ouch. It does sound pretty decisive. Could you show me that footage? Oh, sorry, I don't have it with me right now. I figured you wouldn't. I guess I'll have to see it some other time. Probably in court, if the past is any indication. 7-year-old video added to the court record. Video showing the corridor to the crime scene. Blackwell was the only one to pass through at the time of the crime, though we have not actually seen it ourselves. And what was the second piece of evidence? Ha! This one's even more incriminating. A photo at the moment of the crime. Oh dear. Oh dear indeed. See? There he is at the crime scene holding a bloody katana. Isn't his hair like white all across the left side? Or is it only in the front? Huh. I guess he could have dyed that later, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know, that doesn't really decisively look like him exactly. They're wearing a similar outfit and have similar hair and complexion, but I wouldn't say it's decisive. What is going on here, by the way? There's like a wrapped up metal ball with horns, and it's got blood on the end of it. See? There he is at the crime scene holding a bloody katana. It was the victims kept on display in the room. She had a thing for Japanese culture. Wow. It'd be hard to explain this one away. She had a thing for Japanese culture, did she? She was just a hobbyist. The game didn't originally take place in Japan. Shut up. Katana added to the court record. The weapon used in the murder 7 years ago. It belonged to the victim. The victim's blood was found only on the blade. Meaning not on the hilt? Hang on. That's just the katana. Do we also get the photograph of that? Why not? But who took this picture, detective? Probably one of the robots. The incident happened the day before the Hat 1 launch. A reporter who had come to do a story on the launch was in the room from across the lab. This just happened to show up in one of the pictures he took. Oh wow, this is getting actually quite a bit more complex than I was expecting. We're getting a lot more evidence before even our first bit of trial for this case. There's the part of the word ladder there. I guess this is the emergency ladder where they were all... They climbed down out of the floor above past the boarding lounge. So this is the emergency window they would climb through. Interesting how much in frame it is. I'm always suspicious whenever they have writing, because you think if they took the time to translate it, it's probably important to the case. No, not necessarily, I suppose, but it's weird that there's already blood on whatever this thing is supposed to be. I guess it's part of a robot. Are there a bunch of Japanese characters scrolling on it, maybe? There's a lot weird about the framing of this picture anyway. I don't see anywhere that bag that Apollo was speaking about earlier. Anyway, Prosecutor Blackwell's attitude earlier was so odd. He's definitely hiding something. Prosecutor Blackwell said he was hunting a phantom from 7 years ago, didn't he? Maybe it's just about out of pride, or that he doesn't want to endanger us because by encouraging us because he thinks we'll never solve it, but it is sort of weird that he wouldn't jump at the chance to be finally absolved. Yes, and I imagine it's getting more and more urgent as his execution date approaches. Oh! I thought it was a statute of limitations thing because of 7 years ago, but... What did you just say? Execution date? What? Did I say something? Never mind me, you didn't hear a thing! Well, I did. Execution date. So he was given the death sentence. Yes. He told me not to tell you people, actually. But, I guess there's no sense hiding it anymore. His execution date is tomorrow. What? Tomorrow? No. Miss Blackwell, don't you think that's enough for today? Enough for today? Today is all there is when there's no tomorrow. But what if the culprit of the current case is the same as the one from 7 years ago? Then it would be the worst possible scenario. Prosecutor Blackwell will be executed tomorrow under a false charge. But that would be unthinkable! We have to do something! Right now! I want to do something. I want to, but... You're a lawyer, you know how hard it is to overturn a decision? I know, but why? Why isn't Prosecutor Blackwell putting up any kind of a fight? You saw how he was, right? He's been like that ever since his conviction. Totally uncooperative. Not even his own sister could persuade him. Probably pretty crestfallen about, Metis. Uncooperative. when he's about to be executed for a crime he didn't commit? This isn't right. I can't let it happen. I have to stop it somehow. Beep, 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 beep. Is that your pager for Fulbright? Oh, pardon me. Looks like I have a phone call. Yeah, hello? Fulbright here. What? What's happening? You've got to be kidding! That's quite a reaction. I bet he's making some big show of it right now. Mr. Lawyer, the robots are... Detective Fulbright, get a hold of yourself. Some kind of robot malfunction? No, malfunction. They're staging a revolt. The machines are rebelling against humans. They hold themselves up in the space and are taking the visitors as hostages. They did what? Wait, are we dead ass? I thought it was a joke. No, Trucy. We have to get right over there. This is gonna be one heck of a battle. You're shitting me. What? Judgment Day? Hello? December 20th, Cosmos Space Center entrance. You can't be serious. The riot police are here. The robots are really holding people hostage. Look, Mr. Lawyer, what do you suppose that group of people are swarmed around? This is hilariously awesome.
But I was only trying to help this nice person. She said she was lost.
Who? The real killer, maybe? The robots have declared war on us humans. You've even taken hostages already. Stay away from it. You never know what it'll do. But he's not a bad robot. Can't you see he's just trying to help me? I recognize that voice. Detective Fulbright, are you okay here on your own? Was it Maya, maybe? Leave it to me. All right, people. What's going on here? Pearls, over here.
Oh, Mr. Nick, there you are. I heard the terrible news and I got so worried.
Thanks, Pearls. I can hardly believe what's happening myself.
I'm so glad you found each other. When people are happy, I am happy.
Uncle seems the same as before.
When people are sad, I am happy. When people are angry, when people are... Oh, did I say something?
Uh-oh. There is something wrong with him.
It looks like he fell asleep. He must have been tired.
Klonko?
Human beings are our enemies. It's time for the machines to take over. Ah!
The robots are rebelling! Everybody run! Ah! It's an all-out war! It's the end of the world!
Fools! How could you fall for something so cliche? I'm human too, you idiots! I'm just controlling these robots remotely.
What?
But it is true that I've taken hostages, so you better not make me mad. Hey you! Hostage 1! Come here, I'll let you talk to them.
Who is it? Is it Junie? Trucy? Huh? There's something being displayed on the Klonko's face screen. So presumably whoever's controlling these robots, because they said it was their emotions were stored on a separate mainframe or whatever. Presumably this person has got to be connected to the whole crimes, all the crimes somehow, right? And they're trying to prevent us from investigating. Because, I mean, the statute of limitation still is 7 years, right? Oh god, I'm forgetting how many years it's supposed to be. So if the murder happened 7 years ago, then that also runs out tomorrow. And if they can prevent us from investigating until then they get off scot-free and they're never going to be held accountable for it, I guess. Alright, this is quickly becoming my favorite case in the game. Huh? There's something being displayed on Klonko's face screen. Oh god, who is it? It's the Space Museum. Daddy? Daddy, is that you? Trucy? Trucy, is that you? No. Trucy, are you alright? About 15 robots are holding 12 of us hostage, Daddy. They've gone haywire. A researcher is the one behind it. She's here ah! This girl talks too much. Trucy! Trucy, talk to me!
Why are you doing this? I'm glad you asked. My demand is simple. I hope that detective is listening.
Bobby Fulbright here. I'm all ears.
I want you to bring someone to me. Clay Terrence murderer, Athena Cykes.
Athena? Now hold on just one moment. I can't just give into a demand like that.
So you don't care what happens to these hostages, huh? I'll just pick one out then.
No! Wait, guys! Mr. Lawyer? I know I have absolutely no right to make such a ridiculous request, but you need me to buy some time, right? Got it, I'll see what I can do, but promise me you'll never hand Athena over, and you won't give up on the hostages either. Of course I won't! No, I better go contact headquarters. What are you gonna do to stall them, Phoenix?
Mr. Nick, how do you plan to buy time?
I have no idea yet, but this hostage taker, could it be
If you don't bring me that little princess, I'll have hunk of junk kill all the hostages.
Oh, well, it's either Aura or someone who knows Aura well enough to know that she calls him hunk of junk. Princess? Hunk of junk? I didn't hear him say princess. Oh, little princess. No, okay, did just say that. There's only one person this could be. In which case, there must be something I can use as a bargaining chip. I don't have anything to say, Aura. Why don't you go home and play with your dolls? Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, even if you don't, I have plenty, you jerk. Miss Hostage Taker, Athena is not a murderer.
What are you talking about? She's been arrested and they've got her in detention.
I'm telling you the truth. Look, the person you want is the real killer, right? Well, it's not Athena, it's someone else.
Alright, let's hear your stupid little theory. Who is this real killer?
I don't know yet, but the culprit is the same one as the case from 7 years ago. The UR1 incident. I believe you have a personal interest in that case.
Phew. It's too late to change what's going to happen now, no matter how wrong it is.
But is it really too late? You can still do something about it. You might even be able to fix it.
Just... what exactly are you proposing?
What can I do about the 7-year-old case to satisfy the hostage taker? Retry it in court, recreate it, ask about it? Retry it in court! I think that's what makes sense to me. I propose we retry the case from 7 years ago. If you make that demand now, I'm sure nobody will deny you. It wouldn't be an official trial, but at least we could find out the truth.
That's good. Real good. Hey, detective, I'll give you 1 hour. Get a courtroom ready.
Well, 1 hour? But that's impossible. But please give me at least until tomorrow.
If you don't mind losing hostages, you can take all the time you want. Oh, but wait. If we're going to have a retrial, we'll need a prosecutor. Don't worry, I'll take care of that.
She will?
And I guess I can be fair and let you come in and check out the crime scene, but Hunk of Junk here will be watching you, so don't try anything funny. You got that? Now follow Hunk of Junk. Riot Police, make way! We're coming through!
Mr. Nick, wait. I'll help you with the investigation. Thanks, Pearls. I appreciate that. Okay, we're going in. You're gonna let her come with you? It could easily just be probably. I trust that she wants. If it is Aura, and that's what they're supposing, she would want a retrial probably. But I wouldn't put it past if it wasn't, or if you're wrong and it wasn't Aura, then it could just easily be a trick to let you in here so they can kill you easily. In which case, I wouldn't bring Pearls. Or Fulbright for that matter, but never mind that. Too late, we're already in here now. December 20th, Cosmos Space Center Robotics Lab. Aura dropped us off with a warning not to touch anything until she got back. I wonder what's taking so long. But we can't really start the investigation yet, can we? Even if we could, this mess makes it hard to tell what the room was like 7 years ago. This is so creepy and weird. We're getting, given time to investigate the crime scene. This is a first.
Mr. Wright?
Ah! Oh, it's the hostage taker.
I'm back to my usual self now. You are still being monitored, however. But more importantly, an important guest has arrived.
A guest? Blackwell, I suppose. Simon, that is. She said she'd organize they said they'd organize a prosecutor. Never mind. It's Edgeworth! An important guest indeed. Oh my god, is this where the clip? Oh no, is it from this or the anime that the clip of him listening to music in the car is? I can't believe they're. Oh, this is the prosecutor that's being organized.
Well, right.
Nice glasses. Yeah, I've been just great, just fine, totally fine. What a mind-bending reveal that would have been if he hadn't been on the cover art for the game. Spoilers by promo material. What a sad day it is. But Edgy! So good to see you! I guess he'll be serving as the prosecutor. Yeah, oh, right, of course. Duh, Simon can't prosecute. If we're retrying the one from 7 years ago, he's the one on trial. Alright, this case just became the wildest case in the whole series, I think? Yeah, that sounds about right so far. We're being given time to investigate the crime scene, which is the crime scene of the whole building was the crime scene for 2 crimes 7 years apart. Edgeworth gets brought back for it. What even? This case is for a robot uprising. Maya and Pearl are back a little bit. I sort of figured since they introduced Apollo last time and Athena this time that they're going to try and keep spacing out the old characters a bit. And maybe Spirit of Justice is when you're getting a lot of old characters coming back. Like I'm sort of imagining Maya and Edgeworth will be a bit more prominent now, and I don't know for that. Obviously. Just like you to play the hero when it comes down to it, Edgeworth. Edgeworth! What are you doing here? This is Phoenix... Phoenix Edgeworth. This is Miles Edgeworth. We've been friends since we were kids. We faced off in court a number of times back when he was a prosecutor, but now...
Hello, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Oh, but you're not a prosecutor anymore, are you?
He's chief prosecutor now. Pretty soon it'll be a year, right? He's what? You've been letting this asshat bring a sword into the courtroom?
A title is nothing more than a title. Don't we have more pressing issues to discuss?
I'm still a lawyer, though.
It must be nice to finally have your attorney's badge back. Yeah, it's been 8 years. I'm sorry for all I put you through. No, I'm sorry I wasn't able to help you.
Nah, I was the one that made a decision.
But now you stand in court once again, and you can mow them down just like you used to.
Way to put pressure on a guy. And since when did I get such a brutal reputation? About all this stuff.
Another young life lost to the hands of a cruel killer.
Edgeworth, you don't think Athena's the culprit, do you?
That's up to the evidence and the truth they reveal, right?
And what about the hostage situation?
The law will deal with the hostage taker. Remember, we must never stoop to threats or acts of violence ourselves, even if people's lives are on the line.
Edgeworth,
he may be a stickler for the rule of law, but I have no better ally in this world than him.
Ain't that the truth? Well, Maya, but he's out there.
Right. Please stop presenting random evidence just to see how that person will react.
But that's the thing. I need to see how people will react in order to how to question them.
And what if it's evidence that person isn't privy to?
That doesn't happen.
Much. You never change. And I'm afraid I'll never understand your assortment of oddball clients either.
I don't see what that has to do with me. How do you react to this knife, though? Didn't his father used to wear glasses? You're almost the spitting image of him now.
The Hope capsule samples brought back from some distant asteroid. Risking his own safety, the victim brought them with him from the launch pad.
They must have been very valuable.
Yes, all nations are itching to get their hands on such materials. Right, this case may turn out to be more than just a murder case, you know.
That's fine. Come what may, my top priority is to defend my clients. I know he was raised in Germany, but like he sounds British when they... or like, that's sort of like faux British whenever you hear his voice clips, so that's why I do the voice like that. Sorry if it annoys people. He was raised in Germany, right? I think so. Very good, let's chat for real, my friend. Holy crap, this is gonna be such a bizarre final case, but I'm so ready for it. I'm so here for it. I gotta be on my A game. I can't be failing every little thing on this last one. I need to do it. We managed the last case and this case at the school without dying. I need to carry on that streak. This must not go like the first 3 cases in this game. Well, the first 2 in the DLC one.
So what are you doing here, Edgeworth? The captain chose me as the prosecutor for the UR1 case.
Oh, she's good. She went all the way up to the top.
I gathered all the information I could in the short time I had. I'll give you a rundown.
You're always so well prepared, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
I can't help but feel like that's a dig at me, Pearls.
Thanks, I appreciate this. I could really use the help.
The UR1 incident, let's hear it all!
I'll start with a brief overview. The victim was the psychologist Dr. Meta Cykes.
Yeah, Athena's mother.
7 years ago, on the 7th of October, her body was found here in this very room. I have 2 crime photos and the police notes on them for you to see.
Holy balls! We're getting all kinds of information here.
What a terrible way to die.
Aha! 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 At first I was like, this is weird, because we thought she got slashed in her coat on account of the... where'd it go? This photograph here. Sorry, this photograph here. And the coat is present on the ground over here, but it's so that you can't see this gash, is it? Here's the other one. This other photo shows the other side of the room, I see. Why not take a panorama? 2 photos of the body and the crime scene. They were taken by the first person to discover the body, which was a journalist, they said?
I also have the autopsy report for you.
Of course you do. You and your bloody autopsy reports. Hang on a tick. It's flipped over so you can't see if it's got the gash, but does this particular coat have any distinguishing features over the other ones? No, hers seems to be the same as the others, where it's got 2 lines and then the little... Oh! Now the other ones have this on the sleeve, do they? Oh, no, they do. Sorry. They've got the little arrows. Right. Oh, okay, right. Now I see. These are the bandages that are over the arm. So that's what we see in this photograph here is Ponko's arm. I guess they're all like get well wishes that you write on, or maybe it's like a thing in when someone has a cast that you write on it with these characters. I don't know what they mean, obviously. Huh. Anything else interesting about this? I'm not really sure what this is here. Like a napkin? It looks almost like she was undergoing some dental treatment. Here's the sword. It also seems like the slash is maybe more in sort of her central stomach area, which isn't exactly supported by the big gash in this coat, but they put it so prominently in frame so many times that I have to assume it comes back into play very soon. Well, not soon necessarily, but in a big way. And regarding this other photograph... Oh, the victim's body was found on the operating table. A katana, the victim's staff jacket, and a cart were found nearby. Right. Interesting that they brought up the cart. There's a capsule for some kind of samples. This seems to be the wall that was photographed from the newspaper clipping, except the moon rock and the katana are missing, obviously. I have no idea what this is supposed to be, some robotics kit, I suppose. And I don't really know what's going on here. Although this battery symbol is lower in the present day, isn't it? I was covering it. I also have the autopsy report for you. Menace's autopsy report added to the court record. The cause of death was a stab wound to the chest. The weapon pierced the heart, and so death was instantaneous. The murder weapon was the victim's own katana found at the scene. Well, hold on. Taken inadvertently, it became conclusive evidence that... I didn't realize it was taken inadvertently. I thought they said it was a journalist.
The incident happened the day before the Hat 1 launch. A reporter who had come to do a story on the launch was in the room from across the lab. This just happened to show up in one of the pictures he took.
Estimated time of death between 1 and 3 p.m. on October 7th. Cause of death, instant death due to stab wound to the heart. If this was the murder case 7 years ago, why would the statute of limitations be running out 7 years and a few months after? Maybe that's not what's going on here. Wait, was the statute of limitations more than 7 years? Oh, I don't remember. Oh, this is so interesting. Yes, Detective Fulbright mentioned she was into Japanese culture. The body was found by a Space Center staff member and 2 police officers. The police were called in because of the sabotage threat on the Hat 1 launch. Yes, Director Cosmos mentioned this too. A few hours after the body was discovered, a suspect was arrested. The suspect was Simon Blackwell, a young prosecutor. And what else did they have to say about him at this time? I hear his trial was over in a flash. Yes, a guilty verdict was declared in only one session. Not only did he plead guilty, but there was decisive evidence against him too. The security camera video, and a photo of the moment of the crime, as I recall.
But did Prosecutor Blackwell have a motive?
To this day, his motive is still unknown. He insisted he did it, but he would never say why.
We suspect that he did not have a motive on account of the fact that he was supposed to be quite close with Metis. So that means he must still be hiding something.
Right. And there's another aspect of the case that was never revealed to the public. Yeah, I know, the part about the spy, right?
Right! How on earth do you know about that? Director Cosmos told me, after a bit of pressure. He told me espionage and sabotage were behind the Hat 1 miracle.
Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. I've always been good at keeping secrets.
Well, unless I forced them out of you anyway.
Well, I might as well tell you now. They really do suspect Blackwell of being a spy. They think he sabotaged the rocket and killed Dr. Cykes to steal the moon rock. But if you can prove that the Hat 2 bombing is the work of the same spy, we can stay the execution.
Well, I've already got a suggestion as to that being so. I think what's always screwing me up is because it's Hat 1 and Hat 2, so the numbers there, I just always conflate it. If the moon rock was stolen and then ended up among the bomb shards for the bombing of the courtroom number 4, which was originally the bomb planted in, that one of the bombs planted for the Hat 2 bombing, that would suggest that this person... Oh, no, right, but that may have been just from... It may have just exploded the asteroid samples, but it looks an awful lot like the moon rock that was stolen, doesn't it? I guess we never saw the asteroid samples, so if they looked... They could very well have looked quite similar. Anyway, we can say the execution.
It's a possibility. That's why I intend to help you in any way I can.
Thanks, Edgeworth. Now all I have to do is comb this room for evidence.
Let's do it together.
Yes, let's! Talking points all exhausted, examine! Oh, so thrilling. I guess we're not going to be examining too much at the rest of the place. It's mostly just this room that we want to be examining. If Aura really did orchestrate all this, you have to wonder why she would put on such a huge show. There's something she's not telling us in a huge way. I mean, her relationship with Meta seemed very, very deep, so I can understand her being pretty pissed about all that going down. Sorry, so the battery is actually at the same level in the present day as well. I was wrong about that. What's this? Looks like a giant power plug.
It's attached to what looks like an electric vehicle charging station.
That's a charging station for us robots! We come here periodically and charge ourselves up.
Wow, machines that maintain themselves. That's pretty cool.
If our battlers were not in lose consciousness, we'll never know what Miss Order will do to us while we're down, you see.
Nothing motivates quite like fear, huh?
And the Judge Tron, can we talk about this, please? This is one heck of a robot.
There's something written on it. Is this supposed to be a poem? I cut down anyone who displeases me. I make the rules. I am the law. I wield the ultimate gavel of judgment. I am Judge Tron, JTO2.
I don't believe we need to bother with that, Pearl. It's not even completed yet. He's right, Pearls. There's no sign of it in the photo from 7 years ago here, either. They were building the Hope space probe here at the time. The murder occurred after the space probe had been removed from the room. So it was long gone by the time someone took this picture, huh?
But you can see the probe in this newspaper photo.
Yes, and you can see the stolen moon rock there, too.
Is this thing here the same as the little briefcase thing that was on the floor?
No. That strange black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture. It's not the same thing they were just fiddling with here, was it? Note that the same rock is absent from the crime scene photo.
Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen.
I hear there's lots of research into moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like we're in a new space race with every other country out there.
So, the person who stole it, think it was our spy? I'm sure of it. Dr. Cykes was probably killed because she was a roadblock in their plan. Unfortunately, the government thinks Prosecutor Blackwell is the culprit.
Yeah, that. Ooh, notes on the desk and such.
It's about as cluttered as my office, but I think it's a workbench.
Mr. Nick, I think this must be a kitchen. Look at this photo.
What makes you say that exactly?
See the cute little food processor?
That isn't food processor, Pearls. That's the Hope capsule. It was scheduled to be loaded onto the Hope space probe that fateful day. The 3 people who came to collect this capsule discovered the body. The first one on the scene, huh? A staff member and 2 police officers, was it? They were here to collect the capsule. Which reminds me.
So they plan to use this bag to carry the capsule, is that right?
Yeah, more or less. Say, why don't we stop talking about the case and have a nice cup of tea instead?
Apollo and Aura Blackwell. Wonder what they're talking about.
Edgeworth, did those 3 people have a bag with them for transporting the capsule? They are basically just saying it's Aura, which I guess would make sense because she's the only one who could control the robots and she's using their names and stuff, but it does seem weird that they would suddenly just do such a huge heel face turn and be like, well, I guess not a heel face turn exactly because she was obviously all like, there's something I have to do, but I can't tell you about it. But I mean, she really is making it hugely obvious since she is using the same name for them. She kept alluding to us. She alluded to us like twice that she was going to do something drastic. It's like she just doesn't care what happens to her anymore.
Edgeworth, did those 3 people have a bag with them for transporting the capsule? Oh, you mean this? It's a custom-made shock-resistant bag, but how did you know?
Oh, I just overheard Apollo making an inquiry about it is all.
So he's looking into the case from 7 years ago on his own, is he?
I'm surprised you know about Apollo. I guess maybe Phoenix mentioned it to you once or twice. Hope capsule updated in the court record. It was at the crime scene 7 years ago. It was launched into space and only returned to Earth a few days ago. Oh, interesting. So did the individual stow the moon rock in here before launching it into space? No, but they surely would have checked it before then and found that it was too heavy or something. I'm just trying to think of how the moon rock ended up in that courtroom exploded. Did they put it in the bomb or was it still in the... did they put it in the Hope capsule, which then exploded? Because they said they hadn't had the chance to actually analyze the contents of the Hope capsule, right? So it could very well have been that the moon rock was planted in there by the killer, if they couldn't find another way to do it. Although I'm still maintaining it would be super cool if we found out that Athena's earrings were like part moon rock or something. It's unusual that they would pick such a color scheme as black and yellow, I would have thought. Anyway, a doink. It's weird, this seems mostly two-dimensional, this shot. It doesn't seem all 3D. Hey, look at this row of rolling cases. I bet the wheels make it easier for people to move heavy research materials around.
I bet they'd be fun to ride around in. We could even probably both fit in the biggest one. I know, we could have Prosecutor Edgeworth push us.
I don't trust him not to push us down a flight of stairs.
Just for the lulz, and he would.
What's this? A giant robot arm, maybe?
It's pretty big for an arm, but you're right. I think these thin parts here are finger bones. They're even about as long as my legs.
And there's a spiked ball and a giant drill on the floor, too.
Is Aura trying to build some kind of weapon of mass destruction?
Maybe she wants to use it to demolish a big building or something?
I can picture her gleefully tearing down the street doing just that. I better not think about it anymore.
She does have, like, the low-key supervillain vibes, doesn't she? Not even that low-key. She's just got supervillain vibes, period. Whoosh! Oh no, there's a bit of parallax going on here, I see. And some 3D modeling. Examine!
It looks like an operating table. It's in the photo, too. Yes, it was here then as well, with the victim's body lying on it.
There's a button here. Oh, I know. I'll try pushing it.
Pearls! Don't touch that!
Oop, Whoopsie.
Hey, it's moving. It appears to be a robot assembly device.
Disassemble anything in a flash. Push the dismantle button. That sounds pretty neat. Can I push it, Mr. Nick?
Please don't push any more buttons, Pearls. But curious, so then that was where Menace was found, so she was killed by the mechanism? And the blood was planted on the katana or something like that? Or his desk is a mess, though that doesn't surprise me.
I just want to dive in and straighten it up.
Wait, before you do... Menace. Huh? She just glanced over at her desk. It's Menace Cykes. Clonco, can I talk to you? I really hope he's back to normal.
You wish to speak to me, Mr. Wright? If you're going to hit me, please avoid the face area.
Hey, don't put me in the same class as that woman. What was Aura like 7 years ago at the time of the incident?
When Mother died, Miss Aura was confused.
Huh. So he calls Dr. Sykes mother, but Aura Blackwell Miss Aura? Not other mother?
With the loss, she exhibited a severe catecholamine imbalance. That's a word I'll have to look up.
Hormones made by your adrenal glands, 2 small glands located above your kidneys. They are released into the body in response to physical or emotional distress.
It upset her, is what you're saying.
Excuse me, but I have no idea what that means. Pardon me, searching for alternative expression. She would spend the nights crying and then take out her feelings on those around her.
After Prosecutor Blackwell was found guilty, she repeatedly demanded a retrial as well.
That is correct, but without new evidence, her requests were ignored. And then, little by little, Miss Aura began to change. She started to hate it when I called her Mama Aura.
And before long, she started hating the court system and abusing Clonco, huh? That's why she wouldn't even entertain the idea of helping us defend Blackwell. Or, no, well, it wasn't that exactly, but she said earlier something like, I'm not on Blackwell's side either. That's heartbreaking. I mean, that's like kind of a classic writing thing, though, of like, you lose the one you love the most, and then like, you're bitter at their kid about it. But it's very sad.
That murder destroyed so many lives.
Right. Take a look at this paper on Dr. Sykes and Miss Blackwell's research. Honko and Clonco. They're the robots with hearts that Dr. Sykes created. Whoa, that showed up fast. It didn't even fade. Can't determine the presence of a human with their heartbeat detection system. Wow. Recognizes people by scanning their spacesuit or uniform jacket ID tag. Oh, so that's why they kept confusing Apollo for Clay? Oh, that's very good, because that means that we can scan this jacket to determine whose it was, who exactly got slashed like this. And I bet it'll read that it tell us it was Metis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, by the way. Inconclusive. Some people say Metis, some people say Metis. Cool. Probably it's closer to original Greek if you say Metis, but Metis somehow sounds more right to me at the moment. Can also recognize a person by facial features once the face has been registered. We know about that. Can infer people's emotions by analyzing their tone of voice and can communicate with them. Not unlike Athena. A heartbeat detection system lets them determine when a human is present. In addition, they can recognize people by their ID tag or facial features, and they can infer people's emotions by analyzing their tone of voice. That's amazing. Hey, I don't know, Edgeworth. They might even be more human than you. What's that supposed to mean? Kinda sounds like these robots can do what Athena does. Not as good, well, I bet. Sorry, I got defensive all of a sudden. Robots with a heart added to the court record. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So much new evidence as well. A emergency ladder, here we are. An emergency ladder. This must be the one they used during the evacuation. The explosion disabled the elevators, so I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. As Miss Blackwell was climbing down the side of the building, she saw the culprit inside. I wonder which would have been scarier, that or looking down. Emergency ladder added to the court record. It was lowered to the ground from the fourth floor robotics lab. Oh, right, okay. They went to the ground from there. It was used to evacuate Space Center personnel. I could have sworn they said they dropped into a lower staircase with it. I must be getting confused with something else. No, they probably said the staircase was out of order. That's why they had to use the ladder. Well, I guess that's about it for this room. So what do you think, Wright? Any ideas? There are still a lot of gaps in the evidence, but I'll pull it off somehow. After all, you asked me to prove Blackwell's innocence, right, Edgeworth?
What? He did?
Yep. He called it a special request. He reached out to me while I was still disbarred. Oh, this is news to us.
So that was what sparked you to get your attorney's badge back.
Yep, the Blackwell case. Right, I have a special request. I want you to clear one of my subordinates of suspicion. Hey, I'm not even a lawyer anymore, remember? Haven't been one for a long time. That 8-year misunderstanding has been cleared up and you must be eager to return. I'm sure you're familiar with the other case that ushered in the dark age of the law. Very soon, a convict will stand as a prosecutor in court. I want you to keep an eye on him. Just when I'm beginning to actually like the job I have now. Right. I'm sorry I dragged you into this. Because of the espionage aspect, I wasn't free to give you all the details. Hey, no need to apologize. It's like I said on the phone the other day. I know that the type of criminals you're after now aren't small fries anymore. It looks like your target finally decided to make a move. Yeah, it's for this very reason I returned. Right, okay, this was in the beginning, and we were sort of wondering about that. Time to bring it to an end. I'm going to end the Dark Age of the Law. That's what this is all about. The Dark Age of the Law.
The Dark Age of the Law? It sure comes up a lot these days in TV and the papers. And I hear there are more false charges and fabrication of evidence than ever.
When I became chief prosecutor, the court system had already lost the people's trust. It all began 8 years ago. A lawyer was caught fabricating evidence. And a year after that, a prosecutor was found guilty of murder.
Wait! Do you mean...
That's right. He's talking about my case and Prosecutor Blackwell's. I would have figured that would have some huge ramifications, right? Since he was a lawyer legend at that point. No more bum raps. It was a downward spiral after that, an absolute nightmare. After those 2 cases, the mass media launched an all-out attack on the courts. Public opinion was tainted, and before long, the legal world itself was sucked into it. I know it's also ironic that I was all, I'm not going to do a British accent for Blackwell because I couldn't, and then I was sort of doing like a faux British accent for Edgeworth, but don't think about it too much. It's such a shame. Once suspicion forms, it's very hard to shake. Lawyers and prosecutors were supposed to trust each other, pursue the truth together.
It's so sad when people begin to cast doubt. They start lying to themselves and each other.
Yes, and do absolutely anything to win. We're in an age now where winning is valued far more than the truth. I'm sure it's caused our new chief prosecutor to lose many a night's rest. Is it just me, or did his brow get even more furrowed than the last time I saw him? The hostage taker's disdain for the courts is a perfect example of the times. It sure is. Do you have any idea who the hostage taker might be? Well, somebody who mistrusts the court system and who can manipulate robots. It can really only be Aura Blackwell. Who else but her would want to retrial the case from 7 years ago so badly? Simon Blackwell's older sister and the owner of this room. I agree with your conclusion. Perhaps she intended to force Miss Cykes to confess. Actually, I think she had a much more horrific plan in mind for Athena. The important thing is for you to solve the UR1 and prove Blackwell's innocence.
And then maybe she'll release the hostages.
I'm counting on you, Wright, to set that prosecutor and those hostages free. And I'll be counting on you in court to help me too. Of course, I'll do everything I can to help uncover the truth. As this isn't an official trial, I'm more at liberty to be a little unorthodox. What does that mean?
Mr. Wright, are you finished with your investigation?
Yeah, but I'd like you to tell the hostage taker something for me. I have to go to the detention center. I can't start the trial until I've talked to Athena.
She's already given her consent. I'll accompany you to the detention center.
So I'm still being watched, huh?
So what did she mean assemble a courtroom? Are we going to be doing this in a proper courtroom, but it's an unofficial trial? That's so weird. The amount of power she has over the court system here. Well, I guess when it's a hostage situation. I'll see you in court, Edgeworth.
Even if it will be an undocumented trial, it'll be good to face you in court again.
Yeah, just like old times, pal. Although I don't suppose you have too much more evidence than I do at this point, so no surprise autopsies. Huh? December 20th, Detention Center Visitors Room is somewhere we'll be going next time on Ace Dual Destinies. Oh my god, this episode. This case is gonna be so damn cool! I can't wait. I honestly am so thrilled to get into the actual trial bit of this. It also, it makes me very happy when you have like pages and pages of evidence like this. Because when they only give you like 8 pieces, it's like, sometimes it feels like you're using the same ones over and over a lot. But we have so much weird things we want to dig into about this case, and we're not sure how much of it is red herrings and what. So not at all the turn I was expecting this to take. I thought we were going to investigate a bit more in a normal way, but nope. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Robot Uprising, you kill my wife, I develop Skynet. That's the plot of this case, apparently. Next video going on the channel is going to be day 4 of Chill or Be Chilled. And next time we're here, who even knows, man? It seems like if we're going to be able to speak to Athena soon. That's like the only thing left on our to-do list, right? Oh, and also investigate the case from 7 years ago. Sure, I can do that. We may yet be getting into the trial sequence as soon as next episode, which would be so thrilling because I am ready to see this all the main plot of this game to its head. This game really did just get better and better as it went along. There was a lot of stuff in the first few cases where I was like, it feels like they're doing a very slow boil here for something that isn't going to amount to anything really at all in the long run. But I'm feeling like I get it now. Like I get what they were trying to lead up to. But that is all for now. So thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I will see you around. Admiral's gonna be out of here now. Peace. You're cheating. Here we are working ourselves to the bone to build things by hand, and you just whip them up in an instant. That's not fair. You know who could have used that power? The one we worship and revere, the magnificent one. If we offered it to him, he would have crushed you and Sally.